Welcome to This Explainer. If you and your partner are constantly juggling work, life, and the seemingly magical ability of laundry to just multiply overnight, you're definitely in the right place. Today we're looking at household management not as a daily battle of who did what, but as a cohesive team strategy designed specifically for busy couples. When you're both running on empty, figuring out the chores can literally feel like a second job. But we're going to explore the top practical ways to encourage your husband to help out with house tasks, drawing on some fantastic, straightforward strategies that transform frustration into actual teamwork. Okay, let's dive into this.
It's the ultimate dilemma for the busy couple. How do we actually share the load without it turning into a tense negotiation or, worse, a full-blown argument? When time is tight and energy is low, just the cognitive load of figuring out who's doing what can feel completely overwhelming. It's that mental exhaustion of tracking every little task that really drains a partnership. But it doesn't have to be that way. We're going to unpack 5 incredibly practical, time-saving tips and arrange them into a seamless, chronological chore journey. Think of this as your master plan, taking you from the planning stages all the way to the finish line, ensuring both partners are perfectly on the same page.
Section 1. Laying the groundwork before the chores even begin.
As our source outlines in the very first tip, everything hinges on how you start the conversation. Start with positive communication by expressing appreciation for any help he gives at home. For a busy couple, this is absolutely crucial. Think about it. When we're stressed from work, that tension often manifests as quick criticism at home. Leading with appreciation acts as a powerful psychological pattern interrupt. Instead of starting with what hasn't been done, you're acknowledging what has been done. This immediately establishes a positive, collaborative tone. It shifts the dynamic from a stressful you versus me standoff right into a unified we mentality. This foundation of mutual respect is exactly what makes the rest of the process work smoothly.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark difference between treating chores as a random, stressful burden versus using a shared schedule for absolute fairness. Tip number 3 from our source material emphasizes creating this shared schedule to plan household chores together. Let's be real, when tasks are just floating around in the air, they cause friction. We've all had that moment of silently assuming the other person would take out the trash, only to wake up to a massive mess. Unspoken expectations are a total trap for busy couples, but when you sit down and plan out a shared schedule together, you completely eliminate that decision fatigue. You guarantee fairness in your duties. You take the guesswork out of who's doing what, turning a chaotic burden into a clearly defined, equitable plan.
Section 2. Smart Task Assignment. In the trenches.
Here we combine a couple of the core tips into a highly actionable playbook. Step 1. Assign specific tasks he enjoys or is genuinely good at. Step 2. Use gentle reminders. Step 3. Offer to do tasks together. Let's bring this to life. If he loves cooking but absolutely hates the dishes, let him own the kitchen prep. By starting with a partner's personal strengths and interests, you immediately lower their resistance. Then, for Step 2, use gentle reminders, like a quick shared digital calendar ping, rather than sending a nagging text while he's in the middle of a stressful work meeting. Finally, Step 3, offer to actively team up. Notice the logical progression here. You're moving from individualized strengths to a synchronized team effort, completely changing the atmosphere of the work.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these elements actively remove friction from your busy lives. By assigning tasks based on what he enjoys or is good at, the chores instantly feel much less like a burden. When you use gentle reminders, you keep things moving on track without ever starting a conflict. And when you offer to do tasks together, you actually make the process engaging. For busy couples who barely see each other during the hectic work week, teaming up to fold laundry or prep meals actually doubles as quality connection time. You're taking something that's traditionally viewed as a tedious chore and brilliantly turning it into an opportunity to connect, chat, and tackle the workload side by side.
Section 3. The aftermath. Strengthening your partnership. Let's move to and see how this builds into a positive reinforcement loop for busy couples.
Tip number 5 tells us to recognize his efforts openly to motivate continued participation. This is the secret ingredient. In the nonstop hustle of a busy couple's life, we often only speak up when something is wrong or a ball gets dropped. But vocalizing what went right provides a powerful dopamine hit that rewires our habits. Openly acknowledging the work that was put in provides the exact positive reinforcement needed to make your partner want to repeat that behavior in the future. It validates their contribution to the household team. If you want your shared schedule and positive communication to last far beyond just one single weekend, vocal recognition is the absolute key to maintaining that momentum.
So, the crucial point is this. The ultimate goal of all these practical tips isn't just about having a sparkling clean house. According to our source material, the true purpose of sharing household responsibilities effectively is to strengthen your partnership. Managing a house isn't about perfectly dividing labor down the middle. It's about fitting your unique strengths together, like a giant puzzle. Every time you communicate positively, share a schedule, lean into each other's strengths, and openly recognize effort, you're building a stronger, more resilient bond. For busy couples whose days are frequently chaotic, conquering these everyday chores together is actually a powerful way to reconnect and practice being a unified team.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. Think about the chores waiting for you right now. Armed with these 5 practical tips, from that initial positive appreciation to crafting a shared schedule and working side by side, how will you tackle tomorrow's tasks together? Challenge yourselves to apply this framework today and watch how it transforms your daily routine into a true, energized partnership. By removing the mental strain, you make room for more of what actually matters. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this helps you and your partner build a stronger, significantly more balanced home life.